Hey, what's going on, guys? I know it's been a minute. I've been kind of MIA as far as YouTube and other social media. We got moved into the new place, and then I was just running myself so hard. I got a pretty bad cold, so getting back to it slowly. But I thought I would start it off with the sales update. Sales have been, oddly enough, they're picking up, even though like my listing has been down. I've listed like 2 days this week, and that's horrible. So trying to get back into it. But anyways, let's get into these sales. This is over the last week. These are just certain items that I picked out. I try to pick out items that are like at least 20 plus to be on the lookout. So this first one is Born slip-on shoes. You've heard me talk about these before. I took an offer for 30 on these. Um, it's with bigger sizes. Sometimes you have to sit on them a little longer, but they seem to go for more. Next up was a pair of SAS men's. These are the timeout. I don't know if they're baseball or what, but these were also a 13, and these went for $29.99. I sell a lot of SAS. They usually don't have a lot of wear, and they will always sell, and they're never marked up in the thrift. All right, this is a pair of Nike Zoom Hyper Dunks. I picked these up knowing they didn't have laces. They looked similar to the Kobe's, and those are kind of popular. But I got home and noticed that there was wear. Now this spot was actually worn all the way through to the air pocket. So I took a picture and noted it just to see what would happen, and they still went for 20. This was vintage LL Bean. Everyone knows like North Face, Patagonia, and those outdoor brands, but LL Bean still sells well, so definitely it's worth checking out, even if it's the plain quarter zip hoodies, pullovers. There's definitely a market for that. Next up, we have a pair of Dexter black wingtips. These were a smaller size, 7.5, and they sat for a while, but they did end up going for $24.99. This was actually youth. You see right here, 6.5. But these are the men's Adidas top 10 lows. Just a pretty nice, clean shoe, and for a youth size, I still got $24.99 for them. Vintage Nautica. I've been selling a lot more and picking up a lot more vintage Nautica. I didn't realize that it sold as well. You're not going to get quite as much as certain vintage Tommy or polo pieces, but there's definitely still a market. This was kind of a cool hoodie. Had some patchwork on it, so don't sleep on Nautica. This was actually Nautica jeans. These were some Steve Madden Echo Nude pumps. They sat for a long time, but I picked them up for $4, and they did go for full asking price, which was $24.99. More Borns. These were the mule clogs. You can tell there was like no wear on these at all. If you look at the sole, no creasing, very clean. And these sold for $29.99. I think I just put them in a padded flat rate. I was going to make a haul video, but I didn't. Like I said, moving, unpacking, then getting a cold. But I'll tell you now, I went to like a Expo Center garage sale last weekend. It was actually on the day of my move, and it started off really slow. I waited outside in this line forever. I almost just said screw it and didn't go in there because we had a U-Haul coming. But I'm glad I did. The first half was kind of dead. I knew that there was stuff there, but I just figured it was going to be the kind of stuff that would require more digging around. But on the second half of my first lap, I came across this older dude that had a bunch of like old tees. I picked up a bag for like $1, and I got like 10 vintage car tees and some other stuff. But as I was walking away, I saw some shoes, and the shoes were Rika. Like you'll see them at Goodwill sometimes. They're like really cheap tennis shoes. But I saw this right here. I saw this box. I opened them up, and he had not one but two pairs of Birkies These are the Dijon sandals, and he had them marked $20 a piece. And I said, I asked him, I was like, what did you want? He said $20, but I could do better. And I was like, well, how much would you do both pair for? And he ended up giving me both pairs for $15. And then, so I picked those up Saturday, and I think Tuesday I got around to listing them. And I don't remember which sold for which, but I got 2 pair for 15, and my return on both of them combined was 85. So I think I got 45 for these ones, and then 40 for the next pair I'll show you in a minute. All right, next up, Stafford. I have never picked up Stafford before. I don't know. I bought these because I thought that they were Florsheim Imperials. You can tell the vintage wingtips, they're a lot heavier than a lot of the shoes that are made today. These sold while I was running like a 25 or 30% off sale. So like 25 or $30. They were in great shape though. It was a really good looking shoe. Whenever you guys are sourcing shoes, when you pick up a heavier pair, definitely take a second and look at them. Next up, I've never seen these before. These were pretty cool. They were the Nike Free Trainers, but the colorway was like the Oklahoma University Sooners, I believe. They were actually in pretty good shape, except for some of the red was worn off up front. But I only had those for maybe 2 weeks, and they sold for $29.99. This was the other pair of Birkies. Like I said, 40 or 45. They both sold the same day I listed them. I may have been able to get a few extra bucks, but I wanted to move them quick, and I was not tripping over $5. This second to last item was just a North Face fleece. It's not a Denali. I don't know the exact model, but it was pretty clean. I don't remember if this is the one. One of the North Faces I picked up, the logo, the paint was peeling, and I wasn't sure if I was going to get it or not, but I ended up picking it up anyways, and then I just peeled off the rest of the paint, and it actually looked pretty good underneath. It almost looked like it was supposed to be like that. So this one went for $29.99. I almost kept it, but I don't really... North Face is kind of like too baggy for me. I think I might have to look for something like Arc'teryx. If you're looking for more of like an outdoor brand that has a slimmer fit, I would suggest either Patagonia or Arc'teryx. Now, they are definitely pricier, but if you keep your eyes open, you can find a deal on eBay. And this last item is a pair of Ariat cowgirl boots. These were interesting because they weren't as heavy as a normal cowboy boot or cowgirl boot. It actually had like a rubber or foam sole and more color than I'm used to seeing. I think I sold these for $30. I really had no idea how to price these. I don't know a lot about Western boots. My brother and sister-in-law they're into horses and the whole cowboy thing. That's where I actually ended up learning the brand, and I've sold a few pairs of shoes in these boots. Like I said, sold for $30. I may have been able to get more. I'm not sure. They were in good shape. I mean, they have this distressed look, but as far as condition, they look pretty good. Let me see if I can show you what the bottom looks like. You see the bottom almost looked more like a hiking boot or like a shoe almost. So if you wore cowboy boots, these might be lighter and more comfortable. But anyways, check out these brands. Be on the lookout. And if you guys, have any cool brands that I haven't talked about, leave a comment below. We can kind of network and share ideas and bolos. But I hope you guys' sales are doing well and your night's going well, and I'll talk to you guys soon.